Mullet Nation, I have the answers for you. If you got a third gen Firebird or Camaro, and you've been looking at these Alloyworks 4-core radiators, and you've been wondering if they're going to fit, if you look at the reviews are all over the place. Yes, they'll fit. No, they won't fit. They're 1.5 inches too tall, or the transmission lines won't work. Boy, do I have the answer for you. Stay tuned, and I'm going to show you what you're going to have to do to make this fit. All right, guys, just want to be straight up with you. Apparently, Alloyworks will send these radiators out for people to do videos on and reviews. That's why you're seeing a bunch of open boxes and nothing really to be able to put them in these cars. If you look at the reviews are all over the place, and a lot of them are true. So I want to show you now what you're going to have to do, because this is radiator here has been paid for by my own money, because I'm trying to get this car ready for a 1,000-mile road trip. It's been sitting for 20 years, and I'm upgrading all the cooling systems. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you what you're going to have to do. All right, guys, first I want to tell you why I'm doing this upgrade to begin with. I mean, obviously I mentioned a minute ago that this car has been sitting for over 20 years. This has been a long-term restoration project. As you can see, it's been a lot of work done to it. We're just now getting this thing going, and we've put about 300 miles on this thing so far. And of course, the cooling fan dies on us. And apparently right now there's no aftermarket support for these at all. So you can't just get another cooling fan. So that's led us down the road of we can go with the GTA setup, which is the dual fan, for like $450 for the cooling fans, and I got to wire up extra relays, or we can upgrade to one of these aftermarket aluminum radiators. Obviously, I have plans to build this motor further down the road, bigger cam, bigger heads, and I'm going to need the additional cooling capacity. So let me dig into this here a little bit, and I want to show you guys. Obviously, anybody that's ever worked on these things is going to know when you go from a standard core or 2-core to a 4-core, they do get a little bit wider. So if you want to know if you're going to be able to run your factory cover and your support, that's going to be a negatory, because obviously the way this width is and how this is going to be done, you might be able to cut this and get it to fit, but for it to be a fit and finish and look a lot better, you're probably going to have to fabricate a new upper mount for it. One other problem that you're going to have is this is where your measurements are coming in, that they're 1.5 inches taller. If you look at this right here, this is already fit. So I've already made the cuts to this and modified it to where I've lowered the radiator inside the car in the core support. So that's why this fit is good as it is. As you can see, I got grease here on top of the radiator cap to make sure that I have enough clearance to clearance the bottom of the hood. Because when I lightly shut this thing down originally, you can see where it's actually hitting the bottom of the hood. So this is something I'm going to have to paint and repair later because of the fit and finish. And this was me being gentle with it. So, I mean, it's obviously hitting hard. So there's no way, physical way, this is just a drop-in, plug-and-play setup. So you are going to have to do some modifications to make this radiator work. So let's go underneath, and I'll show you what you're going to have to do to get this to lower down enough that you can get the hood to clear. All right, guys, I mean, obviously some of you don't have a lift like this, and that's fine. I just want to show you guys what you're going to have to do to make it lower down enough so that your hood will clear. That way you can run this 4-core radiator with the dual fans and keep your stuff cool. You can see where I had to make a cut here on the lower side of my core support and how much I've lowered it down. That's about an inch that I've lowered this. And I can barely get my finger in between here, so there's clearance all the way across through here. And it's still sitting on the factory grommets. So, I mean, the grommets does 100% fit, but they're at least sitting on it to help support this and keep it in place. Now, what you're going to have to do, because obviously you can see I haven't done this yet, is you got to make an out bracket to where it'll come up in here and then just weld it in to reinforce this and tie this back together. From here, you can make your upper mount. That locks the radiator back in here, and then from there, finish paint it and then put it back together. So I'll shoot some videos and some photos here of after I'm done, and so you can see what it looks like. But to answer your questions, this is the only way that these 4 cores is going to fit in a 3rd gen. So the reviews that you're seeing that they are 1.5 inches taller, they're absolutely true. I can't answer the question for the transmission lines because obviously I have a 5-speed in this car. It's T5, so I don't have those transmission lines. But I've seen mixed reviews that they are metric lines. I've seen that they're 1/2 inch 20s, So I'm not sure exactly what the pitch is or the connections. I'm not using them in this application, but you're probably going to have to drill and tap them to make them work, or there's a couple different ways to do it. So just do your research and you can figure that out on your own. So if you got any questions, let me know. Here, this is a really good video of it straight on. You can see how I've got this set to where this is just barely above the core support here. So we have optimal clearance for the hood. And again, you can see how I put a dollop of grease on top of the radiator cap to make sure that it's clearance on top. So when we shut the hood, we make sure we're not hitting them more. So the next upgrade from this, if you guys have priced, is currently, as of today's date, I think it's just February 8th of 2024. The radiators for these cars are somewhere between $900 to $1,400 for this type of a setup. All right, guys, just got this thing finished up. As you can see here, I got some temporary brackets up here. I'm going to redo this over this header here, be all the way across to really finish this thing off. You can see how tight this thing really is down in here. Try to get this light here to where you guys can see. There's less than 1/8 of an inch down in there between the radiator and the chassis. Got both fans hooked up. Both fans definitely flow more than the OEM. So let me go to the other side. You know, these obviously are not a plug and play. I will put the model number of this one here from the purchase down and below. And you can see what we got here. So lots of work. These are not plug and play, but this is now low enough here that it clears the hood and the 4-core radiator is installed. So I'll go to the bottom here real quick and show you what the bottom looked like after we got it finished up. Okay guys, this here is the bottom. You can see earlier where we cut. Just made a simple cut here, made a simple little bracket here. Try to get a light here where you can see it. It's painted. But these are all welded back in and reinforced to where the radiator can't go nowhere. I actually run the wiring harness for the fans across the bottom of the core support here and up. And this actually works on the factory relay. We actually incorporated the factory relay to where it actually still looks kind of OEM. So to make these fit, guys, this is what you got to do. These are not plug and play. They're not drop and go, at least the 4-cores, unless there's consistency issues between each radiator. These are definitely not plug and play, guys. So if you're planning on ordering one, expect to do some fitting to make it work. So I wanted the 4-core in here just to make sure that I can keep this thing cool, especially when I start building the motor. But as you can see here, I overfilled it and it is dripping, but everything's nice and tight. I mean, everything looks good. It's clean. And we are done. So if you're looking at buying one of these Alloyworks radiators, be fair warned that some of the reviews are true and you're going to have to do some modification to make them work. If not, you'll have to spend a whole lot more money on something else and hopefully it works. So guys, this is our experience. This is an honest review of what we're dealing with and what we had to do to make it fit. And if you guys got any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to help. So just want to put this information out here because, like I said, there's a lot of open box videos, but nothing is actually showing, installing one of these supposedly drop-in radiators. So guys, make sure you do your homework and I'll talk to you guys later. If you got any questions, let me know.